Sorry. We can have it. Okay. My machine is getting ready, by which time I will just talk to you. So what we were doing in 2005 and 2008 is we have a Windows Server failover cluster, on top of which we will have SQL Server failover cluster. And the binaries will be installed in two locations and the data will be stored only in the common storage. All your data directories will be mapped only to the common storage. Your backup, your transaction activities, your LDF files, everything will happen only in the common storage. But the problem was the answer to a single database failure. So that is where we go for this always on. For always on, the first prerequisite is that we need Windows Server failover cluster. But SQL Server need not be clustered. SQL Server will run as a standalone instance. The prerequisite, because the cluster gives us this overlapping facility, Windows cluster, we need that, and on top of that we will have them as standalone. We need only the quorum. Apart from quorum and witness, we don't need anything on the storage. We don't have to have any large storage disks or anything. The storage will happen on individual nodes. For my node 1, it will happen on node 1. For node 2, it will happen on node 2. Individual nodes will maintain this data. Then how are we going to achieve this? A new feature called availability group has been introduced with SQL Server 2012. By using this availability group, we have to map to which SQL cluster are we mapped to. Which Windows cluster are we mapped to? We have to map our standalone instance to a cluster group. After that, we have to give this virtual network name that will be mapped, and then we will be able to map the secondary servers. And the secondary also, we can have maximum of 4 secondaries, readable secondaries and secondaries we can have. And on the secondaries also, we will be able to read the data. This is the new feature of SQL Server 2012. I'm not wasting my resource. Utilization of resources takes place here. So I can avoid replication. I can avoid mirroring. I have my database. My database is a member of an availability group by using which my primary server is mapped to a secondary instance, and I can have multiple secondaries, maximum of 3 secondaries I can have, to which my server will be mapped. And the moment my database is mapped, it is in a synchronized mode on both my primary as well as in the secondary replica, and it is also readable from my secondary replica. So I don't have to do a replication. All my secondary instances can read. The limitation is 3, but from there we will be able to send the data. That is 1. Number 2, my reporting services need not actually get the data from my production server, spoiling the performance of my server. I have already moved it on to the readable secondary. From there it can read. My analysis and my packages can also